Hi guys, welcome back to Unfiltered. Today's episode, I'm not even going to lie, it's one I think a lot of us need to hear because this is one of those conversations we all avoid until it blows up in our faces. Let's talk about situationships, not the cute aesthetic kind people romanticize online, but the real messy, confusing, emotionally draining ones that look like almost relationship, but end up being nothing close to that. And let me say this from the very beginning. Most situationships never end in a relationship. Not because they can't, but because they were never built to. We just hoped they would. Before we go too deep, let me actually give an idea into what a situationship is. Because half the reason people get hurt inside them is that they don't even realize they are in one. So, a situationship isn't just we are having sex or we are talking or we gist a lot. No. Those things can all exist in normal friendships or casual connections. A situationship is an undefined connection where one or both parties avoid clarity, but one person is still emotionally investing and hoping for something more. It's when you're talking to someone consistently, acting like a partner in everything except the title, giving them access to you emotionally or physically. But there is no intention, no direction, no commitment. And deep down, you are waiting, you're hoping that one day they'll wake up and choose you. And that's the key difference. Because you can talk to someone casually, you can be friends, you can even be physically involved without wanting a relationship. But the moment you start planning the future around them, adjusting your life to match theirs, monitoring their attention, getting jealous and pretending you're not, turning down other people because I'm kind of already talking to someone. You're not just talking, you are in a situationship. And the hardest part, situationships are almost always one-sided in desire. So here is the thing I've discovered about situationships, and tell me if I'm wrong. There are always two people, but they are never in the same place. So one person is saying we are both not ready for a relationship right now. But what they really mean is you are not my person, you're not the type of person I can be with, but I enjoy what we have right now. While the other person is quietly saying, I don't want to lose you, so I'll take whatever I can get, even if I want more. See that mismatch here? That's imbalance, that's silence begging for clarity wrapped in casual vibes. That's the real danger. Because one person is holding on, the other is enjoying the access. And it drags on because the person who wants more keep convincing themselves that maybe with time. And meanwhile, months pass, years pass, and they're still waiting for a decision that was already made silently on day one. And that right there is how people waste emotional years. So a situationship isn't about the label you don't have. It's about the expectations you do have. The expectations that the other person never intends to meet. So people think situationship don't work because of timing or circumstances. But honestly, I think it's something deeper. I think it's mystery. Not the cliche, don't sleep with them yet mystery. Not the don't go out so much mystery. And definitely not the wait 3 days to text them back mystery. No, I'm talking about the mystery of finding someone truly intriguing, of wanting to unpack someone, discover someone, grow with them, see who they become when life shifts. That feeling, it's usually gone before a situationship even starts. Because most situationships are born from something that feels intense in the moment, but shallow in the long run. So some things like trauma bonding, casual sex, boredom turned companionship, oversharing too soon, we gist too much chemistry, too lonely people feeling silence for each other. And quite frankly, some of these things can actually start real relationships. But the way they start situationship is completely different from how actual relationships form. In relationships, the person chooses you. In situationships, the person chooses convenience. So relationships grows because there's something to look forward to, something intriguing, not hiding parts of yourself definitely, but having a story, a journey, a sense of direction, a self-awareness that makes someone lean in. So situationships keep all that. Everything is front-loaded: the vulnerability, the access, the time, the emotions, the body. The deep conversations that should have built time. So there's usually nothing left to discover. And once that mystery is gone, the relationship will never happen. The other person already feels like they've had you, even though they never chose you. So, yeah. Now, this might sting, but it needs to be said. If you are the one hoping a situationship will magically turn into a relationship, you are already losing more than you think, because hope makes you stay longer than you should. Hope makes you tolerate what hurts. Hope makes you call emotional crumbs a meal. And in the process, you lose time, energy, resources, self-esteem, boundaries, and even your sense of what you deserve. Situationship built on someone's term, they never end well for the person pretending to be okay with it. Unless you somehow flip to the table, rebuild the mystery, rebuild your value, rebuild your dynamics. But those cases, they are rare. They are the exemption. And exemptions don't make the rule. So, here is my real message today. Be honest with yourself. Stop trying to turn almost into forever. Stop making excuses for someone who's comfortable keeping things exactly the way they are. Stop holding on to potential that only exists in your head. Stop watering dead plants hoping they'll bloom. If someone wants you, you won't need to decode them. You won't need to shrink yourself for them. You definitely would not need to perform or audition to earn their love. They will choose you with clarity, not confusion, not convenience, not vibes. Clarity. And until that happens, don't lose yourself in something that was never meant to be more than it already is. So, today, I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to answer honestly. Am I in a connection, or am I in a hope that's slowly draining me? Because the moment you answer that truthfully, you will know exactly what you need to do next. So, as always, keep your heart unfiltered, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.